Okay, so what do you think right now? Is this the worst and the most inappropriate time to talk about emotional balance? Or is this the right time? I think that it's always a good time to talk about emotions just because it's good to be aware what we are feeling. And why are we feeling that? To experience that we are in control of our emotions. And I know that, just a side note, I know that plenty of people don't believe that there is such thing as balance. They put it in the land of unicorns, but I disagree. Balance exists, and I can give you plenty of examples from nature, from our own body. So I'm going to put the examples, some of the examples in my blog post with this video. And the nature is always balancing the physical world, the chemical world. Why wouldn't it be true for the emotional world, for our psychology? One thing that we can learn from nature is that balance is not this constant. So I am not suggesting that we should achieve this Zen-like state like monks. Actually, it wouldn't be desirable if you ever experienced emotional flatlining. It just feels horrible. So we are not looking for that. But what we are looking for is to ease a little bit the heaviness of this uncomfortable, painful emotions that a lot of people are experiencing right now. And that's related to all of the unknowns. We have to look at balance as a verb. We are balancing. We are doing this balancing act, but it has to be in a way that is believable. And I'm going to record another video about how we can work with our mind and our thoughts to experience balanced emotions. In this video, I want to share what I learned from the book, How Emotions Are Made, written by a doctor in psychology who did groundbreaking research in the area of emotions. And her name is Lisa Feldman Barrett. Here are the things you can do for your body that will have an impact on your emotions. And we all know that all those things I'm going to mention, they are good for the body. But we don't always understand the connection between body and the mind. It's actually so interconnected that it's one thing. But in this case, you are not balancing your emotions with your thought. You are balancing your emotions through the good things you are doing for your body. Yeah, there is a concept of body budget. Your brain is always, and the idea is that your brain is always working to anticipate what you need, how much energy you need. And based on what's going on in your life, based on what's going on right now for you, it will adjust the levels of glucose, oxygen, salt, and water. And it's borrowing the resources from different tissues in the body, and they are flowing to the tissues that are actually needing it. So, example may be your boss is stressing you, and you see that the boss is approaching you, and you immediately stress. So the circuits in your body that are responsible for survival are activated, and your brain is giving you the resources, the energy that you need. And it's okay when that happens sometimes. It's okay when that happens occasionally, as long as you balance the resources with the right food, the right diet, and enough sleep. But when the stress is prolonged, the scale tips over to the negative side, and you may end up with certain conditions that didn't give yourself enough resources. Another example how the body budget works is when there is inflammation in the body, and sometimes inflammation is caused by the diet, too much sugar, too much flour. Well, obviously, inflammation is not good for the body. But did you know that it's also not good for the mind? So about 10 years ago, she writes, the scientists discovered that the inflammation from the body can cross over to the brain. And when there's also inflammation in the brain, it has impact on our mind, on our brain. So we don't have good understanding of things. Our memory is impacted. Our IQ is impacted. So that's another example how the boundaries between the body and emotions and our psychology are porous. So what is she proposing that we do for the body and for our emotional wellness, for our emotional balance. Number one is good diet. That means no processed foods, no sugar, no flour, and no bad fats. Okay, one thing about diet, you may say, well, I don't have enough financial resources to have a good diet. But here's one tip. If you can just remove flour, sugar, and trans fats, polyunsaturated fats, and focus on veggies and high quality meats, you will notice that you actually need less food. So there is a way to work around the finances to actually eat a diet that is better for your health and for your emotional wellness and mental wellness. Number two is plenty of sleep, enough sleep. Again, there may be a situation in your life where you are not in control of how much you can sleep because maybe you have a baby, maybe there is something going on around your house. But we also do this, and I do this to myself. Sometimes I don't go to sleep until 12 or 1 a.m. I'm either scrolling social media or I'm reading because there are so many fascinating things. So I'm reading so much, I don't want to let it go, and I still sleep away from me. The third thing she's proposing is exercise, and we all know that the moderate exercise is good. But specifically, she's talking about yoga, how people who practice yoga long term have easier time to calm down faster and more effectively. Also, they discovered that yoga reduces the amount of inflammatory proteins in the body and increases the amount of anti-inflammatory proteins in the body, cytokines. And that has a great effect on reducing the risks of certain very popular disease. The fourth thing is check your surroundings. And is your house clean? Is your house organized? Your house, your surroundings are going to have big impact on how you feel emotionally. No brainer, right? Cleaning takes nothing. It just takes a little bit of time and much less than you may expect. I know it's boring. I know sometimes it's hard, but when you do it consistently, every day doing something, you are going to live in a place, in a house that, you walk into your living room, to your kitchen, and you feel a sense of calm. The fifth thing is body comfort. Now, she's proposing getting a massage if you want. I know it may not be easy because it's April 6th. You cannot really go out and get a massage because of social distancing. The sixth thing she's proposing is, what are you doing for your entertainment? The quality of the entertainment. Get a book with story that is inspiring and positive. You get lost in the story of another person, even if this is a fiction, and you forget about your story, forget about ruminating about what's wrong in life right now. These are 6 suggestions from Lisa Feldman Barrett from the book How Emotions Are Made, and you can tell all the things that we know are good for the body are also good for our emotional and mental wellness. If you found this information helpful, actually it was probably just a reminder for many of you because you know this, but are you practicing? So if you found it helpful, please subscribe and hit the bell button, and I will see you in the next video.